Okay. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Lut. I'm FHIR consultant at FHIR, and I will be the host of this session. Well, in this session, Mikael will tell you something about the role of a FHIR ambassador. Please put all your questions in the Whova app, and after the presentation, he will try to answer them. Yeah, so let's start with the presentation. Could you share your screen, Mikael?
Yep. All right. Thanks. That's my screen. And let's go. So first, who am I? Mikael Rinnetmäki. I'm a founder of health tech startup SensorTrend that makes life with diabetes easier through clever apps. And I also have the grandiose title of FHIR ambassador of HL7 Finland. And that's the specific topic I want to share with you all of today from Finland. So the FHIR ambassador was a new role proposed by HL7 in 2020. I'm gonna talk through why it was initially set up and how the role was structured and what do I do as a FHIR ambassador and what do I get out of it. So first, some information about how the HL7 Finland, so the local country affiliate of HL7 International operates. It collects membership fees from companies and other parties that are members. So that's a static €200 per year fee. But in addition, they collect project fees, and those range from 400 to 3,400 euros per year. And they bundle that sum together, and then they issue project proposals and use the funds to actually run those projects. And the project proposals can be initiated by the members or the board of HL7 Finland. And then implementers, mainly companies, can respond to those requests for proposals and offer work or products or whatever is needed for the project. And as said, those are covered by the project fees. So in 2020, HL7 Finland issued this kind of request for proposals for a FHIR ambassador. And the main description was that they're looking for an individual to advance interoperability between healthcare systems and also the adoption of FHIR and all other HL7 standards in Finland. And I thought that, hey, I do this kind of stuff anyway. I had participated in some legislation efforts in Finland. I was active in the development of the Kanta PHR, so the personal health record system in Finnish national healthcare IT infrastructure. And previous year, I had applied for a grant to attend the FHIR DevDays Europe 2019. And I got that from HL7 Finland. And in the closing keynote of that event, Graham Grieve nominated me as the most valuable contributor to that event as a whole. So I also kind of felt some kind of obligation to work in this role. And really, I thought that this could be me. So the RFP, the request for proposal, was really open. This didn't give any specifics on how this role should be constructed. So this is what I proposed. So I proposed a yearly contract of 10,000 euros basic fee and then up to 5,000 euros bonus fee based on how I have performed. And that's how the board of HL7 Finland feels that I've performed. And for clarity, this is my company, SensorTrend, that invoices HL7 Finland. It's not direct salary for me. But then again, SensorTrend is my company, so I do benefit. And the roles that we agreed upon were really to advance interoperability between healthcare systems and advance the adoption of FHIR and other HL7 standards, as was in the proposals. But there in more detail, I, as a FHIR ambassador, participate in HL7 Finland's working groups. There are 3 working groups: Technical Committee and IHE Finland, and also Personal Health Special Interest Group. And within that group, there's also the development work of the TANTA PHR, the National Registry for Personal Health Record. And then also one task is that I keep HL7 Finland informed of the developments in the field. So I write newsletters and am active in discussions. And in addition to that, what's in my ambassadorship, I give guidance and offer best practices and review specifications and assist in integrations and lead to sources of information, and all of that in a light manner. So sometimes that's a few private messages in Zulip, and sometimes that's several hour-long Teams calls. It really depends on the question. And these pop up sometimes several per week, sometimes there are a few weeks without any requests. So really every now and then. And I'm under no mandate to report my working hours to anybody. So I don't actually know or keep track of which projects actually fall under my mandate. So I also participate in the Nordics on FHIR calls, where we discuss FHIR things among the interested parties in the Nordic countries. And I participate in the IPA specification work, so International Patient Access. And we are currently organizing the Nordic IPA kickoff. So I do all of that kind of stuff. And also set up a FHIR demo project. That was an interesting one. I'll tell you more about that in the next slide. Anyway, I don't know whether all of these are part of my mandate. And I guess that's what ambassadors might do anyway. So they live their lives. I do have a broad mandate, and I take things forward as I best see fit. It works really well for me. But anyway, these are all small to medium sized projects. And then sometimes there might be a bigger project or something that has more expenses. And one example is this FHIR demo 2020 project that we did. And even that, I first spent almost 2 years advocating for that. Hey, this is something that we should do, really demonstrate that especially Smart is a quick and nice way of integrating apps to different platforms. And last year, end of last year, we managed to kick that off. And now we have a cool website, FHIR.fi, and we have some examples there of apps that are integrated with platforms. So roughly a dozen apps integrated with roughly a dozen platforms. And that was a cool separate project that I spun up as FHIR ambassador, and then we had a separate budget to actually run that project. Then some benefits. What do I get out of this? What does the community get out of this? So there's plenty of volunteer work in the standards community. And it's of course nice to get some compensation once in a while. And I personally like the fact that there is this bonus part. So there's basic fee and then significant part of bonus based on performance. And I would really encourage all HL7 affiliates to think whether this kind of model would suit them. And really, as I said, I encourage you to look for really broad mandate and less strict rules on how to operate. And that seems to be working really well up here. So do try it out and keep it up as long as it seems beneficial for you. And that's my contact information. So I'm in Hoover. Don't see any questions there yet, but feel free to reach me there. or through my email or Twitter or in Zulip private message or in Nordic or IPA or whatever stream, just ping me. Thank you so much for your attention. And now there would be time for some questions and answers.
Thanks for the presentation. Are there any questions from the audience?
I have a question to the audience, since I'm mainly familiar with how HL7 Finland works and somewhat familiar with the HL7 International, but I don't know too much about other local affiliates. How does it work, for instance, in the Netherlands? Do you know? Oh, Jens, you're the HL7 Denmark, right?
Yeah, that's me. So, yeah, well, how does it work? I'd say we are not as, we are not, how to say it politely. I would like to see a broader adoption in Denmark. Of course, as head of the affiliate, of course, I would like broader adoption. But yeah, I guess I would be looking into, I must also admit, I just briefly joined this. I would really like to know how to get broader investment from national authorities.
Right.
In a broad sense. I wonder how you managed to do that in Finland.
Yeah, right. I explained that in the beginning. So we don't have a lot of public money in this. This HL7 Finland is more an industry association. So we have membership fees, and then we have project fees. And membership fees are static. Project fees depend on the size of the organization, and that's defined by people working with IP integrations. And some members are public organizations like Kela and DHL, so the government IT houses. So in that way, they contribute to the budget, but the majority of the budget still comes from private companies.
Sure, but how is it the industry that can talk the authorities into buying into HL7? I guess it's also, maybe it's a bit Danish, but in Denmark, it's usually the authorities that sets the standards that are to be used on a national level. Of course,
Right.
They listen to the industry, but it has been very hard to convince authorities. I guess we now finally managed to do so, but it has taken years to convince them that FHIR is actually an adequate and mature standard.
Right. Interesting to hear. I don't know origins in Finland because the Kanta system was being set up before I got interested in healthcare IT, and that was already based on HL7 standards like CDA, and then they just profiled it to be too Finnish, and in that way kind of lost some of the interoperability aspects. But then I think that early investment in the HL7 standards made it possible so that the Kanta PHR, for instance, is fully FHIR-based from scratch. And it's still, I would say, a discussion. We really hope that also this new patient access API that we have for the clinical information, that's already in legislation, and now we're discussing, okay, who implements it and according to which standard, and we're really pushing for IPA to be adopted there, but we need to push for that.
Yeah, definitely.
But it helps that we have some HL7 friendly people in the administration and have had for decades.
Yeah, I think in Denmark, we perhaps were a bit capsized due to the fact that CDA was finally introduced, or it was introduced pretty late in the 2013, I think, 14, and a lot of money was spent on that, and I don't think we have seen the best outcome of those investments yet, and that is probably why Danish authorities have been a bit late to the FHIR party.
Yeah,
because they just spent a lot of money on HL73 or CDA.
We need to spread more knowledge among the Nordic countries, and they can see that HL7 standards can be a winner.
Definitely. And the Kanta setup you have in Finland, that's a national solution, right?
Yeah, correct. And it's actually divided in two parts. The Kanta clinical system is based on CDA, and then the personal health record part is FHIR. Rick, you have your hand up.
Yeah, hi Mikael. Let's put my camera on. I was interested in your, your sort of fee-based, project-based. I don't know if it's a membership or like an annual fee for projects. I mean, what would somebody get for sort of 400 euros a year, or up to 3,000? I mean, 400 euros, that's kind of not many hours. 3,400, that's starting to look like more. What's an example of what they would get for that?
So that is a mandatory addition to the membership fee that we pay as member companies to HL7 Finland. So in Sensor Trend, we only have 2 people working with healthcare integrations. So we are on the lowest level. But if you have 15 people, 25 people, 1,500 people, then you're in the upper region. So that's just how the money is collected to the HL7 Finland. And then all the projects are negotiated and priced and gauged differently.
I see. So everybody pays into a big pot, and it's kind of like you're just telling them that some of their money is going towards projects.
Yeah.
It's not like they're buying a particular service.
No, it's
okay. I see.
HL7 Finland bundles all of that money together. And then, for instance, they spend now from 10,000 to 15,000 euros per year for this FHIR ambassador project.
I see. Okay. And who decides, or who do, if do you have some other work that somebody says we need to create a profile or something? Do you do sort of that kind of work?
Yeah. So that's another project currently set up for this year. HL7 proposed to finally have Finnish core profiling work. So assemble a group of experts that would really start working on Finnish profiles where we need those, and map where FHIR is being used in Finland, and then really publish that and avoid the situation that we would, for instance, have 2 different kind of implementations for scheduling. Or
sure. And so that's just done by members, or anybody, any company wants to tender for some of that work. And
currently the situation is that the RFP, the request for proposals, is out again, and we are looking for members to submit their information. Hey, we have this expert and he would like to participate, and that would be the cost expense. So
does that ever clash with like some sort of other national body like the Ministry of Health, or are they happy for you guys to do it?
Currently they have been happy with us doing it. They don't have strong interest in profiling FHIR. Okay.
It's interesting because in England, we have the NHS, who are kind of the big elephant in the room, and they kind of like to do all their stuff. So if there's FHIR to be done, it kind of tends to be those guys that do it. And so which is good that they do it, but also they're kind of like a rule to themselves, really. So HL7 UK almost sometimes watching them do stuff, and they talk to us and we talk to each other, but it's kind of, it's an interesting relationship in England because we have the NHS is so powerful, and HL7 UK is kind of like a smaller on the side of them.
Yeah, I've understood in Norway as well, it's more government bodies that actually do the profiling, but they do try to do it in an open way and in discussion with others.
Yeah. I mean, Health Vest have been pretty active, and I've seen their profiles and so on.
Yeah. but again, they are doing it kind of under the name of HL7 Norway. So
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
big
some sort
difference
of branding
structure.
goes on even when the health authority does the work. Sometimes it gets HL7 brand on the top, which is good. You know,
Yeah.
collaborating. Excellent. Well, thanks for the talk. It's an interesting area. Good job you've got there. I like the good title anyway.
Yes, wonderful. Encourage everybody to become ambassadors.
Yeah, you can put it on your passport when you arrive at customs.
That I didn't have in my mandate yet, and different plates on my car.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I think we've run out of time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mikael, for your presentation. Thanks for everyone attending, and have a nice day.
Thanks, Good.
All right. See you down the
Bye.
line.